Hey guys, so I just thought that I would do a quick little review of the Shadowhunters, the TV show. So, if you don't know, the Shadowhunters TV show is based off of the Mortal Instruments book series by Cassandra Clare. And this first series is starting at the very first book, The City of Bones. So, a few years ago, they made a movie of The City of Bones, and it was a really good movie. Like, there were a little bit of issues. I read the book after I watched the movie, which is generally how I like to do it, because then I don't hate the book. But what I did find after I read the book, that the movie did have a lot of things that weren't in the book or changed from the book and things like that. And the TV show doesn't seem to be any different from that. So this is just going to be a little review telling you what I like, what I don't like, that kind of thing, to give you an opinion of someone who loves the books and who loves TV shows and movies and things like that, and just seeing what I like to watch, and if it helps at all to tell you whether you should watch it or not. You know, obviously you should watch it yourself to see if you like it. I think it could be a show that you could like without reading the books, and I think it gets a lot of people into reading the books, which is good too. So anyway, I'm just going to start the review. So my first thoughts on the show were that it was really good. The actual show, like the first episode, was really good. I'm very, very happy that it's on Australian Netflix, for one thing, so I can actually watch it, which is great. But I found that with the show, it actually deviated more from the books than what the movie did. At least in this the first episode, which probably amounts to like the first couple of chapters of the book. My biggest issue with the show so far is just a couple of the characters. So if you haven't read the books, I'm sorry, because this could have some spoilers in it. But one of my favorite characters in the books is Luke. And so he's a werewolf in the books. And so far they haven't this part of the books, no one knows he's a werewolf, so it's okay. But in the TV show, they've made him into a cop, which, to me, it just doesn't fit with his characterization in the books. The way he is in the books, he's very down-to-earth, very solemn kind of guy, and the cop version of him just doesn't seem like that. So I don't know whether they did that just because in the books, the headquarters of the wolf pack that he leads is in a police station, an abandoned police station. But if that's the case, you know, there would have been 1,000 other ways to figure out, how to get them into the police station later. And his actor is really not my favorite casting of the show. The guy that's playing him just seems a little bit too, I don't know, there's just something about him that is not right for Luke, in my opinion, especially because of the way that he acts with Jocelyn in the books. I feel like the guy that's playing him wouldn't act that way with a woman. But again, he may get better in the next couple of episodes. This is only episode 1. But yeah, so far Luke is not being my favorite character, which is very annoying because he is my favorite character in the book. So I hope he gets better. I love the character from the movies better. I love the actor from the movies better. Having a blank on his name right now, but he's great, and he really embodied Luke for me. Maybe that's because I watched the movie before I read the books. I don't know, but he kind of fit better with Luke's character from the books. Another thing, so basically I'm going to go through all the negatives first, and then I'll get into some of the positive bits. So I also am still very annoyed, same in the movie. Clary has some really cool powers in the books, and some that other Shadowhunters don't have. And my problem with this is that in the TV show, as well as what happened in the movie, is that Clary can randomly put things into paper. And whilst this does happen in the books, it's not random, and she doesn't just do it. It's because of runes. This is from memory, but I'm sure that she doesn't just do it. She has to put a rune down, and her special superpower, I suppose, is that she can make up runes that aren't in the Grey Book, and that she knows all the runes in the Grey Book without having read the Grey Book ever. So my problems with the fact that they did this in the movie and now in the show where she can just put things and put it into paper without having a rune is kind of very frustrating, because it makes her out to have a different kind of power than what she does have, and I think it's harder to explain why she has this special ability later on in the show, in the books, in whatever. So I'm hoping that they explain it a bit better, that there maybe was a rune that I just didn't see when she did it, or that they actually explain this power better than what they did in the movie, where it was that her mother could do it, and that's not the case. Like, in the books, her mother had no special ability that no other Shadowhunter had, so I'm really hoping that they don't do that. If they do, that's a frustrating thing to happen. In general, in this, I do like the casting. Clary's mom didn't really stand out to me at all. And I suppose, at least for this first season, which I'm assuming is going to be based entirely off the City of Bones, she's not really in it, so it doesn't particularly matter for her casting. But she does get a big part later on in the books, so I don't know. Lena Headey was Clary's mom, Jocelyn, in the movie, and that was really good casting for if they were going to make heaps and heaps of movies, because she's an awesome actress, and I think she would have done really well as Jocelyn. But yeah, the person playing Jocelyn didn't really stand out to me. She might be a wonderful actress, I'm just not aware of her name or anything like that. Girl playing Clary, Kate McNamara, I think it is, she was pretty good. I liked her appearance better for Clary. It does fit better with the books, better with even how the artwork is in the books. She's a good actress. And yeah, in general, I think the casting was okay. Dominic Sherwood is a very good actor. I've loved him in Vampire Academy as, and I think that as Jace, I think he can be good. I'm a little annoyed that they didn't give him gold eyes, like is described in the books. But I suppose with Dominic, he has heterochromancia? I can't remember how to pronounce it. Where he has two different coloured eyes. He has one blue eye and one brown eye. And I suppose maybe you don't want to cover that up with gold contacts, but, you know, in the book, Jace is described with gold eyes. And they didn't give him gold eyes in the movie either, when Jamie Campbell Bower was playing him. So that is one thing where I'm fine with the deviation from the books. You know, obviously you can't get the appearance being great all the time with the books, but it is something that I would have liked to see, even just once, just for a flash. In the movie, they did flash gold over his eyes, which was kind of cool, but in this one, they haven't done that yet. I suppose we'll see. Magnus looked really cool. He looked pretty much exactly the same as the guy who played him in the movie. Obviously, he's not the same person, but they look fairly similar, which is good, because the guy that played him in the movie was kind of a perfect casting for him in the book. So, Isabel and Alec, their appearance seemed good. Their acting didn't really stand out in this first episode, but it's not that much. Simon was good. I think I prefer his movie casting, but that's just because I've seen more of him in the movie. There's still some to go. Like, obviously, it was the first episode, so I'm hoping that they'll reel me in the next episode, that I'll really get addicted to it. I'm going to watch the whole series anyway, because I love the Mortal Instruments. It's one of my favourite book series. And I'm hoping that it might get a little bit better. I'm hoping that they do stick to the book better in the next few episodes. From what I remember, the movie didn't really start deviating, apart from the Clary power thing, until closer to the end of the movie. It added a few romantic scenes that didn't need to be there, but it didn't really start getting really deviated from the book until the end, and then they made a huge plot change, which then screwed up their chances for sequels and things like that. But I'm really hoping that they can keep going with this show. I don't know if they'll be able to do every book. I feel like they had a better chance, just based off this first episode and based off the movie. I think they had a better chance of doing 7 movies based off of all of the Mortal Instruments books, rather than doing however many seasons it's going to take to get through the 7 books worth of content. And what I found with book TV shows, other than Game of Thrones so far, they deviate from the books a lot towards like the third, fourth, fifth season. And if they start deviating too much from the books with Mortal Instruments, they have a very clear storyline and very clear plot points that need to happen for the following books. So I think that if they're going to do it that way, it's going to be a little bit difficult. But you know, I'm ready for a 7-season TV series that goes through the whole Mortal Instruments books and maybe goes into the Infernal Devices and the Magnus Bane books. But so far, it hasn't got me yet. I wasn't overwhelmed by it. I'm very, very happy that I can actually watch it. I didn't think I would be able to. But I'm really hoping that it'll get a little bit better in the next episode. So I'm hoping I'll have some time and I'll be able to do another review for next episode and hopefully tell you that I've completely changed my mind, that I'm now obsessed with the show and that it's wonderful, that it's a great show and it's done really well. But at the moment, I'm just not at that point. So I hope that I'll get there very soon and that it's going to be a really great show to show people that Mortal Instruments is a great, great book series and that it is a really interesting series with a lot of lore and a lot of mythology behind it, which I really like. I like when books that are about the supernatural books, TV shows, movies that are about supernatural things don't just stick with one single lore. It goes into a lot of different mythology, biblical, and a lot of different countries' mythology, and demons, monsters, everything that you can think of if you like supernatural stuff. So I'm really hoping that it'll get better. And I am excited to watch the rest of the series. I really want to be obsessed with this series. It's one of those things where I'm not quite there ready to be obsessed yet, but I'm sure I will be soon. So anyway, hopefully I'll be able to review the second episode next week, whenever it comes out on Netflix, so I can watch it. And if I may start doing some more reviews. I've just finished watching the whole season 1 of Daredevil and the whole season 1 of Jessica Jones, so I might do a review of those. It'll be very spoiler heavy, but I don't know. I'll see how I'm feeling and see if I like doing these review kind of things. It's just really talking about what I think, so I don't know if people would actually watch that. But anyway, thank you if you are watching, and I hope to talk to you soon. Bye.